Hey, how you doing, guys? What I'm continuing on with. I started yesterday with Arturo Fuente Thursday, and today is Arturo Fuente Friday for me. And I'm going to continue on to Saturday and Sunday, which I'm going to give you my take on the Arturo Fuentes that I'm capable of smoking in 4 days. Okay, today I'm going to be doing the work of art, and this is a nice smoke. Hey, so it's a good smoke. All right, and continuing on, here we go. This is the work of art. It's got decent decent burn line. It kept its shape. It was shaped like it's got a little comes to an end there, like a little nipple on it. And I gave it a straight cut. Okay. It's my favorite cut anyway. So it's got African Cameroon wrapper. It's a 4.88 by 60. It would be a perfecto and small little guy. I'll see how short it'll run, but it's got a sweet taste to it, some spice, um, being contributed mostly probably from the African Cameroon. It's a wrapper that's a nice balance between spice and sweetness. But it is one of the most expensive wrappers. As a matter of fact, um, 5 pounds is like 18 to $20 a pound. It's expensive stuff. I think it. You can look it up on Total Leaf. Of course, this is not the prices that Fuente's paying. That's for sure. I'll let you know how it goes. That's what I'm getting right now. No barnyard. Some earth, but not. It wouldn't be like a barnyard earth. Some sweetness, like a cane, some baking spice. That sweetness is turning it into a baking spice. And I'll let you know as it progresses. No bitterness whatsoever. Pleasant smoke. Okay. Hey, while I'm smoking this work of art here, I'll just show you the box. It's um, it's got one of those shapes on it to make up for the silhouette of this. Okay. Um, Presentation. He always does a great job. Arturo Fuente, they do a great job. The boxing, the thickness of the wood, the cedar chest. I mean, it's the 9 yards. He goes the 9 yards with it. A lot of people remove this. I should too, actually. I don't know why I keep it, but I don't smoke these that often. Um, Let me adjust this thing so you can see that a little bit better. Okay. Um, it's burning nicely. Good amount of smoke. The smoke has got a nice velvety texture to it. Okay. The ash is black, is peppered. Um, the colors of an ash all depend on moisture content, um, the completeness of the combustion. Like you burn something really, really, it burns really well, you're gonna get that white ash. Okay. And got a lot to do with mineral content in the soil. All of that plays a factor into it. Okay. Uh, but anyway, nice leaf, nice smoke, a little toothness to the texture of the wrapper itself, which is typical of the African Cameroon, or the broadleaf, or the San Andreas, anything that some of these dimples, these tooth things that they call them, uh, are extra pockets of oil, like grab an inch from your waist, little pockets of fat, and they add to the flavor. Absolutely, they do. Okay, so I'll let you know how it goes. Okay. Hey, as I'm smoking this, I thought about how come I don't see too many cigar jokes. So, yeah, it would be fun if somebody would make some jokes. So then, okay, without offense, I love my Jewish friends. I have many of them, but this has got, you're asking for it. Okay. How do you make a cigar kosher? okay, by cutting its tip. Okay, all right, that's corny. All right, but anyway, look, it flies, okay? It flies. Hey, so I continue smoking this. Um, the flavors are sort of linear, okay? It actually it was a little sweeter. So the Vitola up here, I guess that would be your 60, and then it tapers down. Obviously, you can see the taper here, okay? Uh, and if that's any indication of the direction because of the smaller ring size, then I expect it to really lose quite a bit, where the best of the cigar was up here. Um, and you get that with the Hemingway Classic. This is a Hemingway line, okay? It's got the same stuff, except you change the Vitola, they called it the work of art. Then you got the Hemingway Signature, and then you got the Hemingway Classic. Um, the classic, I have something to demonstrate that. Let me go get it, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, I don't have a box of the classics, but this is the classic. It's a 7 by 48 is the size in this guy. Okay. African Cameroon, same filler and binder, all Dominican. Okay. This is a nice sampler box. It's called their holiday selection. I've hit it a couple times. It's got a Magnum 54R, sun grown, natural. They pair it off, but pretty nice. Okay. That's this one. On the retro, wonderful nuts, spices, sweetness continues. Really, really a nice stick. You know, you go outside, you walk your dog. This is the guy, okay? This is the guy. Um, yeah, they have, and this is the, and this is their regular, this is their signature, okay? This is a 6 by 47. So you got the 7 by 48. You got this 4.88 um by 60. Okay. Um, but and they're all going to have the same blend, but the flavors. Absolutely. Does Vitola impact a cigar's performance, what you make of it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And so does the draw. So does the draw. How much suction you put on it, creating more heat, burning the oil just a little bit differently, giving it different nuances. Hey, what I've been basically doing is, besides smoking and enjoying this, um, is I had this idea of starting yesterday that I was going to be doing a weekend of Arturo Fuente. So I started with, a price point of here, and I'm going to take it way up on Sunday, and tomorrow. Uh, Today, at the end of today, we should be around the 25, $20 range. And by Arturo Fuente, I mean everything from Arturo Fuente, um, across the line, to the finishing touches of Opus X. I'm going to be doing, God of Fire, KKPs. Um, I'll be doing Don Carlos, Tubo. I've been doing, I'll show some stuff and do some stuff from, uh, uh, I think it's Father and Son. Don Carlos, Father and Son's got a nice selection of sticks in there. I'll be doing a rare black, probably a purple rain. All right. It's, uh, it's Arturo weekend for Phil. Okay. All right. So, we'll keep touching base on this in this video. Okay. and let you know how this one smoked. Okay. Sometimes these sticks they start. You can an ash is important. Okay, it insulates the wrapper against getting too cold too quickly. Uh, so when it wants to stay on, let the ash stay on. Okay. If you're at a wedding, white suit, be a little bit more aggressive as to how often you try to ash it. So to ash it, to know if it's willing to let go, a slight tap. See, this guy wants to stay. All right. Right now, it wants to stay. I am not going to be forcing it off. It's hanging on, and it kept the shape. That's pretty cool, right? I want to discuss retro a little bit since we got apparently this work of art that's supposed to be just a walk your dog kind of stick is hey, it's giving enough time to enjoy a smoke. Okay, a lot of people talk about retro. They won't retro for one reason or another. But I believe that you have to retro to get the full enjoyment of the cigar. There's magic in the retro. Okay, you have a lot of more what do you call them receptors in the whole olfactory thing in the back here than you would even on your palate. Okay. Sometimes you smell food and you already, you close your nose, you're not even going to know, or even your eyes. Sometimes they do these tests that you can't tell between an apple and a pear. Uh, but anyway, the retroing, the best way to retro without you choking yourself or whatever you're worried about, uh, is you have to understand that it's got nothing to do with your lungs, very little to do with your lungs. You could take the biggest breath you could take as if you're going to jump into the Hudson, jump into the Mediterranean. The point is that let me get it up to smoke a little bit. Okay. Now, let's do that again. Take a deep breath. You can't possibly pull any more into your lungs. So, was that my reserve tank? No, I don't have a reserve tank. There's no third lung involved. Or is there? Well, yeah, there is. It's called your cheek muscles. Okay? When you don't inhale a cigar ever, avoid it at all costs. Don't be macho about inhaling a cigar. But you take your breath and basically you're using to avoid inhaling, whether you know it or not, you're using your cheek muscles are creating that vacuum in this chamber up here. Okay? Including the back of your nose. You're creating a vacuum there, and that's where the smoke goes because of muscular activity. Okay, got nothing to do with your lungs, with your diaphragm. Okay. Now, one of the things to do with retroing is to, in fact, take that deep breath in. Because what you can't do is go deeper. Because you already did that, right? You took as deep as you could. So now the chances of you accidentally inhaling are nil. Not happening. Anywhere the smoke's got to go, it's got to go out that way. And be careful, it might go out all through your nose, and then you're going to feel it. All those sensors are just going to be lighting up. Okay. So, but retroing, it'll give you a nutty flavor. It really complements the whole smoking experience. That's with some caramel in that. Okay, very nice. Very nice. So now comes the unbanding. Okay, the unbanding. I usually wait till it gets very close. I don't smoke through it. I've seen guys smoke through the band. I don't understand what they're doing unless you you try to lift it up as best as you can, sometimes to avoid damaging the wrapper and you digging with your fingernail in there real quick and damaging the underneath of the where the wrapper's at. You could even use a little razor blade and just to get the lift going. But usually Arturo Fuente makes a situation where it comes off beautifully. Okay, I've seen other wrappers that are close to impossible to take off, really hectic, like the 1910. La Coronella. I love that cigar, but the wrapper every single time it becomes a project, and I hate that. Okay, so you just peel it off, peel it back. The heat should have made it a little bit easier to take off. And as always, and as expected, Arturo Fuente comes out without a hitch. Okay, almost always no tobacco remnants on this puppy. Okay, and that's the way it should be. All right, it adds to the experience. Okay, when you got to do construction on a cigar, break out the jackhammers to get it off, and then wreck the wrapper. If that happens two or three times with the same stick, we'll never buy that stick again. I don't. The transitions are wonderful. Um, so going from that 60 down to here, approaching it right about here now, okay? And what I'm getting is that sweetness, baking spice, whatever, has transitioned into uh, like a piece of buttered toast with cinnamon on it. That's what he did with the shark. Um, the shark Vitola in 1995, he introduced that. That was one of the first sharks was, and one of the first Opus X's was a shark. And I think that was 1995. If I'm wrong, correct me down below. But I think that's a fact. Um, and it does, you get the Salomones, they'll do all sorts of things, a whole line. But to me, Mr. Fuente Carlito makes good product, good sticks. And with giants like that, they could get whatever quality they want. But with him, it's in his backyard. But he does use Ecuador quite a bit, African Cameroon, Ecuador, both the Sumatra and the Ecuador Sangros. He does use a lot of Ecuadorian, and they're known for a country of shade. So they do a lot of Connecticut shade because it's almost always cloudy there. So it's like really easy for them to kind of do and produce some of the best shades. Okay. Hey, how you doing? I was trying to find a Salomonis by Arturo Fuente, and I said, could I not have one of his sticks? And that's because he doesn't really make what you would call a traditional Salomonis. Now, this one that I'm doing right now, the work of art, sort of's got that profile. Okay, a nipple at the end. It's a figurado, closely associated with diademas or diademas. I I do have a box of these. I thought one was open, but it's not. They're all closed. So I'm going to open one up to show you what the traditional size is um, like 7, 7 1/4 by 57 at its fattest point. Um, that's sort of where they sit uh, to be called a Solomon. Um, so this is uh, this is the Andalusian bull, okay, and it's certainly not your typical Solomonist, but um, it should have the tip at the end. This does not, okay. Um, but this is it right here. Um, so that's not really. I really thought that this would be a good enough example, but I'm not happy with this example. Let me get this stuff out of here and get this out of here. All right. So let me bring you a different example. It's definitely titled Salomonis. Okay, so this wrapper really contributes so much to the flavor of this cigar. It absolutely does. I mean, Magic in every puff. All right. So these are called Salomonis, um, right there, and these have your very traditional shape. Okay. Um, Sort of what it looks like. My little dish. Okay. Um, these are great sticks. Every now and then I will enjoy one. I have several boxes of these, and I keep them in my drawer. Comes out like this as a tray. Okay, you put it back in and whatnot. But anyway, this is not about that. So these, see how they have the tip at the end. Okay, the whole thing is the tip. A lot like a lot like the work of art. So I guess this would be Carlito's rendition of um a Solomonis, a little baby guy, a little baby Solomonis. Oh, that's so cute, right? Um, yes. So this would be it, but he's got larger. He's got it at 60, a 4.88 by 60, where this is definitely in the neighborhood of 57, 58, and about 7 and a quarter. Um, and that's sort of what you got going on here, okay? Um, and so he doesn't. This one's for later, okay? Uh, so he doesn't really make Solomonis per se, the definition of it, but um, you could smoke his baby guys, okay? Um, but this is turning out to be a really, really nice smoke. Again, this is the Hemingway work of art, okay? Hemingway work of art. Yeah, I'm not paying the attention I should be to this guy. Yeah, I had to touch it up a little bit. It went out on me, so I purged it. I should have videoed the purge. But this cigar is turning out to be so nice, especially when you do the right purge on it. You don't get any of that nasty flavor. Yeah, I'm allergic to actually putting holes in a wrapper. I don't know. I break out in hives whenever I see um, like one of these guys. I think you know this is the punch, but one of these guys, see that? You're supposed to take this, and then stick it in there, and then hold it like that. Nah, I'm allergic to that. I like the tip thing. Okay, put it in your tip, and some cigars are worthy as long as you're home and no one can see you. You're okay. Nuts are still there. Nuts are still there. Really good smoke. Obviously, I'm going to smoke this to the end. You don't have to watch that. Okay. Uh, Subscribe. Okay. It helps me out. Follow. It helps me out. How? It makes me feel that it's being appreciated what I'm doing. That's all it does. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.